the farm progress. One of the beautiful things about having Bryan Bulaga is that if you are a football guy or gal and you want the football without the Tausch stream of consciousness, this is like getting Tausch without the nonsense. So this could be the show for you if there are times, and I know there are those of you in the YouTube comments who get frustrated by this, you would like more football and less does soap clean itself edition. And Brian's going to have to explain to me how on earth you get this offense cooking when your quarterback, who knows what he's going to be able to do between now and September 7th. Who knows what wide receivers are going to be participating in practices between now and September 7th. And oh, by the way, you start the season with 2 NFC contenders in a 5-day span. Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can get in both the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Riley Yauk is our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs we believe in better for Jesse. Good morning, Riley.
Good morning, Jason.
And from his palatial estate in beautiful Florida, our favorite Florida man, it is Bryan Bulaga, our cousin sub of the day. Bryan, good morning. How are you? Riley, am I the only one who didn't hear Bryan speaking?
He should be good now.
Do you got me now?
Hey!
Hi.
It's like that old Verizon commercial.
Come on, Riley. What are we doing, man? I mean, come on.
He's too busy thinking about his jiu-jitsu competitions.
He is. Yeah, he is. He's too worried about getting gold. That's what he's worried about right now.
Silver medalist. By the way, so the last time the three of us were together, Riley was going into his all-valley karate competition like Ralph Macchio in the Karate Kid going up against the Cobra Kai. For those that were not part of our text chain, Riley, how did that go for you?
Yeah, it went pretty well. I took second place out of, I believe, 7 competitors. And I know you discussed this right after the fact, but my first match was a victory by forfeit. So
what does that mean? Like, did they not show up? Did they take one look at you and say, boy, I'm not messing with this Jacob Mizorowski lookalike fella? What exactly happened?
That's what I'm saying. No, so they never weighed in. They never showed up. I was waiting. I was ready to go. We waited they gave him 20 extra minutes to show up. I was on the edge of the match, just kind of bouncing around, waiting. They're like, now we're going to give him time. We're going to do a couple more matches, let him see if he shows up. And then he never showed. So I'm assuming he did some scouting and realized he didn't want to have to deal with me. So I get it. I understand.
I don't want to mess with this 135-pound behemoth.
Hey, 155. Let's get the record.
Is there video of your combat? Can we do like a digi only for the video crowd to see you in action? Because I personally, I don't want to speak for Bryan, but I am very intrigued to see some sort of video evidence of you kicking the crap out of some dude.
There is a video, yes. I can dig that up, and I think we can do that for Digione. I think we can make it work.
I don't know what that sound is that Jesse made the other day on the air, but I'm going to make it myself. I'm very excited about this. All right, we're also really excited to have Blue here. He is our cousin sub of the day. Man, you come off the bench more than you did in 2010 behind that big fella. Take me back to that, because we don't talk about the old school days very often, but I think it's instructive given how much you filled in for him twice during his sabbatical. Now you're here again. What do you remember from, I can't remember which injury it was. He had so many that he played through for so long. Old T, he had a groin. Was it a shoulder your rookie year that put him out for the rest of the season? Is that what happened?
Yep. Yeah, it was a shoulder, I believe.
So you're this fresh-faced 20-year-old kid from the suburbs of Chicago and the cornfields of Iowa who has conclusively proven during camp that he is a tackle, not a guard. And you're sitting behind two old heads, Chad Clifton at left tackle, Mark Tauscher at right tackle. You are a longtime left tackle. We see you as the heir apparent at left tackle. But then the right tackle gets hurt. And he's donezo in what turns out to be a Super Bowl championship season. So you find out that Tausch's shoulder is jacked up. Did you go in? Did he injure it in the previous game and you had to go in? Refresh our memory on that.
No. So to my recollection, he finished the game against Detroit. He hurt it against Detroit, and he finished. To my recollection, because I did not go in against Detroit. The only action I saw was the week prior against Buffalo when Chad did like a series and his knee hurt or something went on, and I finished out. I played pretty much the entire game at left tackle against Buffalo, and that was my first game playing in the NFL. I think I took a couple snaps in Chicago. Chad came out for a couple plays in Chicago week 1. I ran in and played 2 snaps in Chicago. And then the next week at home against Buffalo is when Chad, I think, played 1, maybe 2 series. And then I finished out the game against Buffalo. So pretty much, the entire game. And I'm fairly certain Tausch finished the game against Detroit. He got hurt against Detroit, but he finished the game against Detroit. And then I think he got it scanned and all that. And the aftermath of it was what it was. And I didn't find out he even did anything to it. Really, you know what I mean? I didn't know he did anything to it until Monday, when I think he missed a meeting or something like that. And I was like, "Where's Tausch?" And they're like, "Oh, he hurt his shoulder in the game." I was like, "He finished the game." I'm like, I didn't, you know what I mean? I was a rookie, so I didn't really know much at the, he finished the game. He couldn't have been that badly hurt. But then you start to understand guys playing through things. You're young, you don't understand, and you start to grow up and realize guys are tough. They kind of push through things. So Monday goes through, and obviously I'm thinking, okay, even if he hurt it, he'll probably just miss some practice this week, and he'll be fine to go against Washington. It'll be okay. It's not a big deal. And then Tuesday night, I get a call from Campy, and he's like, you're gonna play right tackle against Washington. You're starting. And I was like, what? I was like, what's wrong with Tausch? He's like, he's gonna be out for a while. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right. And that was really the end of the conversation. That was pretty much it. And I hung up the phone, and I'm like, I've never taken a snap at right tackle. I've never gotten in that stance. I've never gotten in a right-handed stance before in my entire collegiate career, high school. You know what I mean? I always played on the left side of the line. I played left tackle in high school my senior year. I played left guard in my freshman year at Iowa, and then I transitioned to left tackle. And then obviously in camp, I played left guard and left tackle, in Green Bay. So I had never even taken a single rep at right tackle. So he told me that, and I was like, oh my God, I'm thinking about the playbook in my head. I'm like, I know the playbook on this side. I don't know the playbook. I know the playbook, but all these calls flipped around in my brain. I'm my head just starting to spin, going nuts. I literally that night, I'm opening up the playbook, just refreshing the plays, but flipping it looking at it on the opposite side. We get to practice on Wednesday, and I get down to practice super early, and just with Jerry Fontenot, he was the assistant O-line coach at the time, and I just start taking just start taking reps with Jerry, because I've never done this before. Like, I'm like, Jerry, I don't know what I'm like. I got to get comfortable with this before we even start practice. Like, I've never done these. Like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll get used to it. And like my Wednesday, I looked absolutely horrendous. I looked like a baby giraffe. Like I just looked so bad. And then like I stayed after practice on Wednesday, and like I did more and more. And then I watched the tape Wednesday. I felt better. Like after watching the tape, I'm like, okay, I can correct these things. Like I understand where I'm kind of at in space, because that's the biggest thing. Like, people think it's like riding a bike, but it's where you feel you're at in space out of a certain like pass. It's like muscle memory out of one side, and that muscle memory isn't there on the other side. So when you move out into space, you don't really understand where you're at. So I found myself drifting in weird areas of the pocket like that Wednesday. Like I couldn't feel where I was at. So it was good to see that on film. And Thursday, it got a little bit better. Again, took tons of reps, dry reps, and then obviously in team. Friday, like I did the same thing. I know that's more of our jog through day, but I did even more Friday. And then I, fly out Saturday and play Sunday against Washington, against Brian Arakpo. At the time, it was like he and Clay were some of the top pass rushers in the league at the time. Those were like a couple of the two young guys that were really tearing up the league in sacks and everything like that. And that's kind of how it went. And I was nervous as all hell. Let's put it that way. I was like, this is like a couple days work, pushing off my left foot. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how this goes. And, I had my ups and downs in that game for sure. A couple missed assignments, a couple things in my head that I had flipped around. Because obviously when you're under the gun and the pressure's there and, the noise is up and there's a lot of things happening, and you're trying to flip things in your head, and you're focused on your technique, and I made some mistakes, and that was the way it went. I felt like I blocked fairly well. Like Rakpo didn't have a sack or anything like that. I don't think he hit Aaron. But I made some mental errors, which I think it caused some issues throughout the game, which that's the way I didn't want it to go that way, but it did. But it was kind of a whirlwind week, because my head was just spinning the entire week trying to play catch up. And some people may say, well, why aren't you teaching yourself to play right tackle, or why aren't you keeping up on that? Well, because the coaches tell you what positions you should be getting dialed in at. That's right. They tell you and what I was told to do was, obviously I knew left guard because I did that in camp. So I was up to date on what I needed to do at left guard. They would never put me there because I stunk at it, but I knew what to do if I played left guard. You know what I mean? I knew what to do. I knew the assignments. And then obviously, I took all my reps in practice at left tackle. I took all the reps off Cliff. That's what I did. Right. So I was that's what I was ready to go do, was go play left tackle if something happened to Cliff. So when they made the switch over to right tackle, I was like, oh my gosh, this is my head was just spinning. So it was a little bit of a whirlwind. And it got progressively better. Again, I had up and down moments those first 4 or 5 weeks making that switch. Because I went against really good pass rushers those first few weeks. It was Arakpo, Cameron Wake. I think we played Minnesota, so there was that group. So it was a tough couple weeks to get it rolling, but I finally settled in and got progressively better as the thing went on.
Wow, your memory, again, unlike old boy, Washington, Miami, Minnesota, at the Jets, a game that you guys won 9-0.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then you guys blew out the Cowboys, and then you had the bye week. So, yep. Your old friend Josh Sitton always was proud of this. Because he switched, right? He went left guard, right guard a bunch, and then there was one time where they had to put him out at left tackle, and he got the job done. But he loved to talk about, and I don't understand. He is who he is, so we love him for who he is. But man, did he love to say, "Oh, it's like wiping your blank with your left hand." He just thought that was, Tausch is so proud of his analogies. That is City's go-to analogy. Anytime it came up about switching sides on the offensive line, it was the butt-wiping analogy. But, no pun intended, it really is, it's actually a really good analogy. I don't want to get into anyone's personal hygiene techniques, but doing stuff with your offhand, whatever it might be, writing with your offhand, if you don't like City's analogy, it's hard. And I do think it's interesting because, and this is why I wanted to revisit this, because we've spent a lot of time talking about Jordan Morgan. We're going to talk a lot about Jordan Love coming up because, we finally got information on where kind of things are headed with his surgery. He's got the big cast on, but he's going to practice in some form or fashion next week. But Jordan Morgan seems to have that gene, to some degree anyway, that Elton has, that Zach Tom has, that you had to work to develop because it didn't just come naturally to you the minute that Tausch got hurt. But are there certain guys that just have that innate ability to flip it in their brain and be effective? Because I've talked about this with Zach Tom before, and he says, I don't understand why my brain works this way, but it is a huge advantage. Now, he's settled in at right tackle, and he got paid there, like you did and like Tausch did. But he's still that guy, and his brain still works that way, that he could move. Are there just certain guys that you played with that had that?
Yeah. I mean, I just think some guys are just able to just do those types of things on the fly. They're wired a little bit different. And I think if in college, right, and I think this is the big thing, if in college you were a guy that potentially moved a little bit, you're more adept to those things. You're prepared for that a little bit more. Right. I didn't move in college, right? Kirk put me at left guard knowing I'm going to left tackle. You're going to go out to left tackle next year. And he actually had told me, I should have put you at left tackle your freshman year, but I didn't know if you were ready or not. So my whole freshman year, I was on one side of the ball. I was in one stance. I didn't take sets or do anything on one side of the ball. So for 3 years and how many thousands of reps I took in college because I didn't, in high school, I decided I'd help the team out and play left tackle when I was a tight end the year prior because we were short of left tackle. So I had no experience really as an offensive lineman going into college. So learning to play offensive line, I only learned it one way, right? And I only learned it out of one stance. Everything was ingrained in my head on one side of the ball. That's how I was trained. Some guys get cross-trained in college because, hey, they come in as freshmen, maybe they get redshirted and they get moved around a little bit or whatever it may be. So they're naturally, or just from when they come in, they're used to moving around a little bit. And then when they get to the NFL, when they're asked to do that, it's still going to be a little bit awkward. Don't get me wrong. When you're asked to go right to left in the middle of practice, it still is a little difficult. And guys will still say that too. But they're more comfortable doing it, right? And it comes as a little more natural. Guys that did, Sitton was one of them, right? TJ was another one that could do that. TJ could go back and forth. Sitton could go back and forth. I know. I'm trying to think of other guys in my head. Spitz was another guy that would go back and forth a bunch. Jason Spitz from my rookie year. He was the guy that did that a bunch. So there's just some guys that are just able to do it. And obviously Elton, right? Elton was kind of his rookie year. He was kind of getting moved all around until he settled at left guard, after week 1 or whatever it was when he went in. So there's some guys that are just used to it and they're ready for it. And, that's kudos to them. And I know Goody wants guys to be cross-trained, right? Like that's good. That's good for certain positions, right? Like certain things, that's okay for guys to be cross-trained. And I've gone into this a bunch. But sometimes you need specialists, right? Like sometimes you need guys that are this. They are like, this is what he is, and that is what he's going to be, and that's where he's going to stay, right? Like, obviously, like, they tried to shift me out to left tackle in 2013. I was having a good camp, blew my knee out. Hey, you're going back to right tackle because Dave stepped up and played really good. Hey, it is what it is. My body was still like, I had adjusted to left tackle, but getting over back to right tackle, that was the knee I tore, was my left knee. So pushing back off that knee took a little while, to get ready for that. But my body was used to it already. So like I was comfortable moving back over to the right after doing a whole summer of left tackle to readjust. There's guys that are just specialists, and that's what they are, and that's what they should be. Not everyone can be cross-trained, right? Because not everyone can do that. Like some guys are just have it in them. And it
like
doesn't
Jacob
make
Monk
a guy
isn't a guard.
Yeah, like Jacob Monk. Yeah, he's not a guard. I would like to see him get more center, right? Like, I mean, I really would like to see him like start at if like this week, if Elton's obviously not going to play, right? Like, I mean, I think that's pretty clear. Like, if the two line or a mix of the lines are going to go out, I would like to see Monk at center, and if you're going to play Sean Ryan at right guard next to him, right? Because like that's what I would like to see. Let him have the best opportunity to try to succeed next to guys that are starters in the league too, right? Like let him have an opportunity to see how he does.
And to get him his confidence back. Like it was, I mean,
Yes.
I love you like a brother. Do I bring up Seattle and Bruce Irvin from time to time to needle you like a brother? I do. But in all seriousness, when you have a day like that, you want to be able to bounce back, and it's incumbent on your coaches to give you the chance, right? To get back into a rhythm, because we talked to him after the game, and I don't mean this in a mean-spirited way, but like some of the questions he was asked and how long it took him to answer, like I felt like he was like holding back his emotions. I mean, he had 3 holding penalties, gave up a sack. Like it was a really tough day at the office. And I'll tell you this from my perspective, I don't enjoy that part of the job. Like if I have to ask tough questions, that's part of the gig. But when somebody has a really bad day and then you have to ask questions about how badly it went, I don't enjoy that at all. There are some sadomasochistic reporters who seem to enjoy that. I am not among them, and I will not name the people that seem to enjoy that, although some of them who are retired now, they just didn't bother to talk to the guy. They just ripped him in print. All right, I want to get into some of the other things that are going on. I just thought this was instructive because Jordan Morgan is like you. He spent his entire career at left tackle, and maybe it will turn out that he's not that moving chess piece, and if he wins that left tackle job, they're going to have some specialists, because that's going to create some substitution challenges when somebody inevitably gets hurt. So we'll get into that with Bryan, but more importantly, Jordan Love was at practice in Westfield, not Carmel, Indiana. He did not participate. He had a big, giant cast on his left hand, but he's going to practice next week. We'll delve into that with Bryan coming up. Want to remind you that even though Tausch isn't here today, I'm a proud Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin customer, and if you want to be one, you can get the long-lasting comfort and reliability that make it easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation, rigorously tested for quality and performance to last for years, and built to create long-term energy savings. Our biggest window in our house is a big, beautiful Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin bay window, and we love everything about it. And if you order by August 31st, you'll get 0% interest for up to 5 years. So visit PellaWI.com today to find out more. More with Bryan Bulaga, our cousin sub of the day. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Get your golf fix every Tuesday night at 6 with On the Tee.
Spieth is probably going to, embarrass me at some point. The hell do you know? Shut up and carry the bag.
Join Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson as they dissect all things pro golf and tell the tales of their own golfing journeys in Wisconsin.
I think it's golf in its purest form, and I think it should bookend the golf season.
Go On the Tee with Gabe and Stephen, sponsored by Majestic Oaks at Lake Lawn Resort and Gruber Law Offices. Tuesday nights at 6 on 94.5 ESPN and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Let me go on.
Violent Femmes.
Like I blister in the sun. Let me go on.
Performing the debut album
know you're the one.
and the second album, Hallowed Ground.
You can all just kiss off in
Violent Femmes. 2 sets with intermission. No opening. Live at the Riverside Theater. Saturday, October 18th. Sold out. But second show added. October 19th. Get tickets on sale now at PabstTheaterGroup.com. Violent Femmes.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Get ready for a free fight night, Milwaukee. Rev and Rumble Boxing Night is coming to Davidson Park on Saturday, August 23rd. Watch top amateur fighters from across the Midwest go head-to-head in a night of non-stop action. Enjoy local food trucks, drinks, and exclusive merch, plus family fun like face painting and retro video games. That's Rev and Rumble Boxing Night at Davidson Park. Free for all ages from 3 to 8 p.m. on Saturday, August 23rd. Learn more and register at revandrumble.com.
August is the final month of the summer savings event at Cunis, and the best deals just got hotter. Don't miss the final weeks of this exclusive event at nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and the new Cunis Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. We've refreshed new vehicle savings and incentives on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. And check your local dealer website for a new set of 10 pre-owned super specials. With fall and winter on the horizon, check out our service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Get outside and enjoy the summer savings event at Cunis. Start your search online at CunisMilwaukee.com.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond, from garages to new home offices. Our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Bryan Bulaga is our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs. We believe in better. And Bryan is as good as it gets. We're lucky to have him in our rotation. All right, Bryan, speaking of rotations, we'll get back to the offensive line and your thoughts on that, because that is your area of expertise. But I was getting some grief the other day about being an alarmist. And I don't think that I'm being chicken little, but I'm going to defer to you on this, because yesterday Jordan Love does not practice. Obviously, he's got his hand in a cast. Now, they were very vague about what his practices could look like next week, but they do intend for him to practice in some form or fashion. It's impossible for me to imagine them putting him out there against the Seahawks in the joint practice and putting him out there in the game. There's no upside. All there is risk to me for those. But, and I joke about this, but it's true, like, if they have to play without Jordan Love and without 5 of their 6 top receivers, they're not going to do very well. That's the brilliant analysis that I'm here to provide. But if all those guys, because look, none of these are catastrophic injuries, right? Romeo Doubs is back. There was a chance he was going to practice yesterday, according to LaFleur. Jaden Reed's out of his boot. Didn't practice yesterday. Dontavion Wicks, it's been over 2 weeks now with the calf. And again, they also have a calf injury that Xavier McKinney sustained, and Xavier McKinney is going to be ready for the opener, absolutely, according to Goody. Now, Christian Watson will not be ready for the opener. He is starting on PUP. He's got to miss at least 4 games. Goody made it sound like he's going to want to play after those 4 games, and the team is probably going to try and hold him back. Okay? And then Savion Williams, I'm not saying that he is experiencing Marshawn Lloyd 2 electric boogaloo, but he had off-season shoulder surgery after his time at TCU, so he was in a red no-contact jersey and limited throughout off-season. Then he gets a concussion during the pre-padded practices, so he's in and out of the lineup because of that. Now he's got apparently a hamstring. So those are your 5. You got basically Matthew Golden and a bunch of guys, and McCole Hardman, and a bunch of guys that you weren't really intending on doing anything other than taking reps, right? I mean, all kidding aside, maybe they do need to have Bo Melton start taking some wide receiver reps along with his corner reps. Bottom line, though, Bryan, is all these guys should be back by September 7th. The question is, how do you get them in a rhythm together if they've missed this much time? And is that something that is a concern, or is that something that I am just blowing out of proportion?
No, I don't think you're blowing it out of proportion, because it's a real question, and I don't, quite frankly, I don't know how you're gonna get all of them in sync when we don't really know when Jordan Love is going to be back and practicing, right? Like, listen, I understand that it was not a bad injury or a big surgery or anything like that, but like, what's the point of like pushing him and potentially putting him out there next week when, like, he's got a cast on right now, and I don't know what he's going to do next week, but regardless, it's probably not going to be much if he does anything. So like, let's just like call that what it is. And then the way these receivers come back, as they get healthy, who knows how it's going to be, right? It could be like one guy and then randomly, but how that times up with when Love is fully back and throwing and everything like that. So I don't know how they get on the same page, as a group, like everyone, and, with the quarterback and those guys that have been out. And I don't know how you get that. I mean, you're going to have to do it with a lot of timing things once you get into that, week before the game and then the game week. You're really going to have to a lot of 7-on-7 and, dry reps and things like that, routes on air, just to get certain timing things down, because like these are the reps right now. Like when the joint practices and things like that. Those are valuable reps because you're doing them against other teams' ones, and you can see things in real time, right? Like how it's happening and how you would see it in a game, because you're going against another team's, starting group, and it's highly competitive, and that's how it's treated. It's treated almost like a game. And if you're not getting those reps and you're just getting, and I'm not diminishing practice reps, but practice reps are not the same as joint practice reps. They just aren't. Just call it what it is. So if you miss those reps, you got to find ways to get even more reps in practice and all that before Detroit, right? Like, and you're gonna have to find that, in that week and some change before you go out there against Detroit. And to me, like, this would be the time now. Like, if I'm having my say, I am grinding as hard as I can on this run game and play action game to the tight ends. And obviously you gotta have to, Golden's still doing his thing and getting his, feel for the offense and all those things. So you still got to make sure he's getting what he needs, obviously. But I am, really making sure that my run game and my play action to my tight ends are feeling really, like, I'm feeling really good about that. Because if you go into, at least when all these receivers and Jordan Love get back, and that part of your offense is doing really well, you can then, it can help you, ease into the passing game, right? Like it can help you, maybe relieve a little, burden that the pass game isn't fully there yet, so to speak, right? And I know we need it to be there week 1 against Detroit. I know, you need to have all facets going. But when this many guys are down and the quarterback, and they're not taking reps and they're not practicing, it's a big ask to have it look like you want it to week 1, right? It just is. It's a big ask. So you got to do with the guys that are available right now, and that's the offensive line, that's the running back, that's the tight ends. Get these guys tuned up and get that part of your offense looking the way you want it to. Because if you got that part rolling, then you can start integrating back the receivers. And obviously, Jordan, as he gets back, to start orchestrating that. But you got to have at least one part of this thing humming by the time these receivers get back before week 1.
We will see exactly what that looks like, but I agree. I think you're going to get, and again, I'm sure that the Detroit Lions are thinking this way too, because they're paying attention to this stuff. They're probably expecting a heavy dose of Josh Jacobs and 2 tight end sets, right? That's what I would be expecting from them. And, you obviously have to prepare for everything, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, I want to get into what exactly is realistic to expect for Jordan Love. You did not play quarterback, but you played through your share of injuries. And I think it is important that he made it very clear that had this happened during the regular season, he wouldn't have had the surgery. He would have played through it. So we'll get into that coming up. I don't think he has any litigation opportunities against the New York Jets for injuring his thumb. But if he did, there'd only be one call to place, and that's to Gruber Office's one call. That's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website gruber-law.com to find out more about the firm, about all the great lawyers that are there, about everything David does with his team in the community. Gruber Office's one call. That's all. More with Bryan Bulaga, our cousin sub of the day. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango. Bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Harry Douglas.
You're talking about a security blanket that's not involved in the pass game. If you're just talking about rushing, that's James Cook for the Buffalo Bills. Now, as you mentioned the pass game, he's also an extension of that. You can run him on routes that we call H choice, right? He runs up against a linebacker. He has a choice to go inside, break outside, or carry that route over top for a big home run hitter. James Cook has the ability to do all these things. He's come out of the backfield. He's run a corner route before. All these things James Cook provides for you at the running back position. So it was very, very important that they got this deal done. Annual salary, $12 million per year. That's right around the same area with Alvin Kamara and also Josh Jacobs for the Green Bay Packers. But I'm so glad they got this done because James Cook is a major part of the formula in Buffalo when you're talking about their offense.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee new car dealer members have service technicians, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Hey teachers, we know you work hard to inspire future generations, so IKEA wants to say thank you and share some inspiration with you. From August 1st through the 17th, your local IKEA stores are offering all teachers and educators an exclusive 15% off your entire purchase during IKEA's Teacher Appreciation Days. Whether you're revamping your classroom, organizing your office, or rewarding yourself with a cozy new space to unwind at home, IKEA has got your back. So, stop by your local Oak Creek IKEA, fill up that cart, and then show your staff ID at the register to enjoy our special thanks and 15% off.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Continuing with Bryan Bulaga, our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. All right, you played your entire Packers career with Aaron Charles Rodgers. In 13, when he broke his collarbone, you were out with your ACL. And then, did you tear your ACL in 17 also?
Yeah, I tore it like week 9 or something like that.
So you did play with his backup in 17, Brett Hundley, for a period before you also. You guys, his collarbone and your knee were on the same schedule almost.
Yeah, essentially. On the same timeline.
So you obviously remember him playing through injuries, and I don't think, I know that our buddy Kyle Wallace on KBN took a lot of heat from people who didn't agree with his take, and I'm among them, by the way, and I told Kyle that on their show. I don't think Jordan Love qualifies as injury prone. This was something that he would have played through during the season. He came back from an MCL tear after missing only 2 games. I respect that. I don't think that there is in any way, at this point, can you say this about him. Had the groin injury in Jacksonville, was back the next week. He didn't miss a game. He missed a half. So I think I thought that was a little bit of a harsh criticism. That said, the only way you get better at football is playing football. And there has been a little bit of a dismissiveness about the missed time that he is undergoing during training camp. Fine. My concern, if I'm a Packers fan, is, as we just discussed, getting on the same page. But how do you get him back, Brian? Like, you did return to play stuff when you came back from various injuries. Like, how do you think they're going to approach this next week? What exactly do you want him doing? Because the last thing you want to do, and he said this yesterday, is go out there too soon while you're still healing and jack up your thumb again. And now the point of having surgery has been ruined, Jerry, because you're now back to square one.
Yeah, I don't know what the return to play protocol for that even is, right? I mean, like, to be honest with you, because of the nature of the injury, right, and him saying if this was in season, he probably just would have taped it and played with it and all that, which I get it. I mean, and that's the thing. I don't think the guy's injury prone. Right? I mean, listen, things happen in the NFL, right? Like, guys get hurt in the NFL and guys get rolled into. I mean, it's part of the gig, right? It's not like he continues to suffer of, like, I don't know, like weird little dumb things that, that you're like, come on, man, like, you could take care of this, or if you did this to your, like, that's not happening to him, right? Like, I don't know what happened to his thumb or what play it happened on, but chances are Jets D line like fell on it, or it got trapped in something, or it got caught on a face mask, and that's what happened.
So I think what happened was, and it is funny because, me being a helicopter parent and beat writer, I asked him about the sack after the game, which, it didn't look bad, right? Like, you watched it. It didn't look bad. Mm-hmm. But I had this flashback to Brazil because he got spun around a little bit, right? They got kind of wrapped up by the midsection. And I asked him, I understand you can't play to not get hurt, but at the same time, you have to be smart. And he admitted, look, I should have gone down. Like, he did that jump cut to create space, and then he got sacked. He should have just gone down, right? Well, it turns out that he injured the thumb. If you watch the play again, he takes his left hand and kind of stiff arms into one of the helmets of one of the pass rushers. I think it might have been Will McDonald. That and that must be where it happened. It like overextended or got bent funny or whatever it was. And that goes back to, is the juice even worth the squeeze for preseason games when something like that is, because it's a fluke thing, right? Total fluke.
It
so
is.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously he has to, like, a protocol has to be that he's able to take snaps under center, right? Like, and getting under center and having that ball smack that bottom hand where that thumb is and making sure that it's, he's comfortable. Like that's a significant thing. Like maybe people don't think about that, but that is huge. It's not just, being able to grab it, spin it, grip it, and throw with his obviously his right hand. But he's got to be able to get under center and take snaps. And like that has a lot to do with the left hand and getting that underneath. So I don't know exactly, right, like what the trainers will have, like return to play. But you're right. You don't want him to go back out there, like, say, Monday and the cast is like, there's just no point to it. I would just, if you're going to have him return, which he will sooner than later, obviously, just have him come back after the Seattle week, right? Like, let him rehab this whole week. Let him, once that cast comes off, let him rehab, let him re-strengthen everything. Let him do all that, and then he returns, right? And then it's full go, ready to go for Detroit. Because you're right, that's the last thing you want. Come back too early, a ball or something hits that, and we're back to where we were, after the Jets game. There's just no point to it. So I don't know what they're going to do, but my guess is with the training staff and the doctors, knowing how they operate, they're going to be cautious, would be my guess. Very cautious.
All right, I want to get into, now I was not in Indianapolis yesterday, or Westfield, or Carmel, as Tausch called it randomly. But the reports from the joint practice were basically that the Packers defense cooked the Colts offense, and the Colts defense cooked the Packers offense. So we will get into that coming up, because, again, and I want Brian's feedback on this, these are becoming the new preseason game, these joint practices. These matter more than the games themselves. You're able to do more stuff. So I want to get Brian's thoughts on that as well. We'll talk about that coming up. Quick text from Matt Coonan. I want Jordan nowhere near a joint practice, but can Brian explain to a couch coach why Jordan can't slap on a Nick Perry-style club and be out there for drill work?
Yeah, I mean, he could do it to be out there for conditioning, right, and to keep his wind up. But we all, like quarterbacks, we all see how they, even in the shotgun, they receive the ball and they spin it in their hand, how they set it in their hand. Like, he needs both hands to operate, right? Like, he's got to be able, like I said, he's got to be able to get under center and receive snaps. He's got to be able to give handoffs, and you give handoffs with your left and right hand, depending on which way the play is called. So he's got to be able to use both hands at all times. Like, that's part of the gig as a quarterback. So until he's 100% comfortable doing that, right? And listen, like, when you hand off a ball and Jacobs is running 100 mile an hour at you, there's your thumb's gonna get hit, like, right? Like, your hand is getting put inside his midsection, and it's gonna get hit as you're giving him the ball. Like, so you got to make sure that you're 100% comfortable that thing is healed, or is healed, that it's going to get ready to go. But from a conditioning standpoint, like, yeah, that's probably, he'll have however they wrap it or whatever they do, because he's got to keep his wind up, right? He's got to be able to stay conditioned and all that. So that's what he'll probably be doing this next week, is when he returns to training or practice, it'll be conditioning, would be my guess. Maybe someone will hand him a ball with his right hand, and he'll do some throwing, but I just don't see him, getting snaps fired back at him and him catching with nothing on and doing that. I don't see that happening.
We will see when he addresses us next week, but I'm intrigued by this as well. I've also been intrigued by the Quick Trip Mountain Dew Quick Climb. I've been playing every day. I've got all kinds of grand prize entries ready, and I'm sure you're playing as well, where every sip gets you closer to the summit. Now through August 17th, so the contest only has a couple of days left. You can play each day for free in the Quick Rewards app. You do a little scratch off with your finger, and you score bonus plays with every eligible item you grab, like an ice-cold Pepsi, Bold Mountain Dew, hydrating Gatorade or Propel, sparkling bubbler drinks. You know how much I love those. Smooth Starbucks, refreshing Pure Leaf, and the high-voltage taste of Rockstar. That's not my thing. I'm more of a bubbler guy. Pair one of those with hot food, and boom, you've got 2 bonus plays. Every week, someone's cashing in, because each week the cash prize climbs by $5,000, stacking higher and higher until one player hits the ultimate payday, $250,000 in cash. And when I win, I'm still going to come to work the next day. So open your Quick Rewards app. Get climbing, because this summer the view from the top is worth every play. Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes. Quick Trip, they get it. Fill up, fuel up, and grab everything you need. We'll see you next time. More Wilde and Tausch with Bryan Bulaga next. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Ben Brust. This Friday, August 15th, join Kyle Brust and Ortman live from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Vault Restaurant in downtown Milwaukee. We'll have drink specials, raffle items, Milwaukee baseball tickets, and of course, a wonderful view of downtown Milwaukee. A portion of the proceeds are also going to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. To support a great cause and to celebrate one of the best venues in Milwaukee, head to the Vault this Friday, August 15th on Kilbourne Ave in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. We'll see you there.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
Let me go on. Violent Femmes.
Like I blister in the sun. Let me go on.
Performing the debut album and the second album, Hallowed Ground.
You can all just kiss off in
Violent Femmes. 2 sets with intermission. No opening. Live at the Riverside Theater. Saturday, October 18th. Sold out. By second show added. October 19th. Get tickets on sale now at papstheatergroup.com. Violent Femmes.
Windows, windows, windows. You hear all about everyone's windows and how theirs are the greatest. I'll tell you, our windows are the best as well. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I'm right there with you. We've taken the most trusted brand in windows, Pella, and paired them with such an outstanding business that we will deliver results to you at your home. Siding Unlimited has won Pella's prestigious 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited is the company to install your new windows.
Kyle Brust-Norman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Get into the joint practice at the top of the 10 o'clock hour because the Packers in my inbox have announced their weekend plans throughout the 2025 regular season. Now, kickoff weekend, which I believe the Black Crows are playing before, is also Packers alumni weekend. Does that mean that we will be seeing your smiling face in Green Bay, Wisconsin for the opener against the Lions as they celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Super Bowl 45 team?
No, I will not be there.
Dude, I don't mean to be whatever, but that delivery was outstanding. Soccer tournament?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I do have one of those, and we just couldn't make it work. With the flights and there's obligations that were required that I just couldn't uphold to and things like that. And,
okay, enough said. I don't want to put you in a spot where you have to explain how difficult you are to work with for the Packers. I get it. You're a diva. Just admit it.
No, it's not even that. I just because I would have had, I think it's kind of like a week-long thing that I'd have to leave, and then with the kids in school, and then obviously there is a soccer tournament that week, and I think my she's playing rec soccer, and that kicks off that weekend. So my wife alone with a tournament and my daughter it's almost it can't be done. It's just the way it goes,
right guy.
Right?
I'm with you. You're making the right choice. You got my full support. Now, for Packers fans that aren't alumni like yourself, a couple of other highlights from the schedule. The Thursday night game against the Commanders, which is 5 days after that opener, or maybe 4, after the opener against the Lions, will be the winter warning whiteout uniforms. Is Bryan Bulaga pro or con on the all-white unis?
Personally, I don't like the all-white unis and that's as a lineman, right? Like that's as an O-lineman. There are some guys that look really good in them, right? Like some guys make them look really good, and they look really slick, and guys, they look good. Linemen, it's not our cup of tea. We'll just put it that way.
Okay,
not our bag.
So that is for the Week 2 game on Thursday Night Football against the Washington Commanders. That it will be white out winter warning unis. Now, for the one that really matters most to one Bryan Bulaga, Week 9. November 2nd, a noon start against the Carolina Panthers. They will unveil their 1923 classic uniforms with Brian's favorite helmet, the hand-painted leather helmets and uniforms. So I assume you will rearrange your schedule for whatever it takes so you could be there in person to see those unis and those helmets up close.
Yeah, those I definitely want to see those up close. And it's funny, and again, I like the jerseys and everything. Like, I think the jerseys are good. Like, I think those are clean. I really like them. But it's funny how, like, those get put at the noon kickoff against the Panthers, like the most insignificant team, like, on the schedule. Yeah, I mean, and again, every game's a big game, right? Like, let me clarify that. Every game's a big game. But if you were to look at their schedule and look at, like, who, like, big games, right? Like, you look at, like, the first 2 weeks, those are big games, right? Those are giant opponents, right? I wouldn't put the Carolina at a noon kickoff, like, as, like, like a showcase of the throwback unis, right? Like, that's not really, to me, if you're trying to, like, show these things off, like, the game to do it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, maybe my logic's way off. Maybe I'm way off on my logic.
You're just a hater. It's okay. Just own it. But no, you would think. I'll be honest. I thought that it would be for, like, Monday Night Football against the defending Super Bowl champs. That was what I was expecting, and I was wrong, completely wrong on that. So
why not against, like, a divisional opponent? Like, I feel like the Bears have worn their throwbacks against the Packers a bajillion times. That would make sense. Yep. They're another historical franchise. The Panthers, an expansion team. I don't understand.
Yeah, we will. No. I'm just excited for Brian to get his gear. I can't wait for the Packers to send him, like, a
free leather helmet
as a gift. Yes, just for his unwavering support of the new unis.
I do. Again, I will say it loud and proud. I think, those Illini uniforms are gross. Like, those things are disgusting. I mean, if you're listening, they just showed the Illinois uniforms. But the jerseys are really good. Like, again, I liked, and my time with the Packers, all our throwback unis, like the jerseys, like, I always thought they were really clean. I thought they looked good. There was never one that I thought was like, ooh, like this jersey is gross looking. I always thought they were really good, and there's no different to this one. I think this one looks really good. Again, I just don't like the helmet. I'm just not in on the helmet, and that's just what it is. And I understand they're hand painted or whatever they are, and there's a lot of effort and time into it. I'm not saying it doesn't take skill, and someone didn't put a lot of TLC into it. I just don't like it, and that's just what it is. Like, that's it. That's it.
All right, you've made your position clear, and we appreciate your honesty. I'm looking forward to seeing these helmets up close. I'm hoping maybe I can try one on. And if I do, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you. All right, we need to get to the 10 o'clock hour. We need to talk about what happened yesterday in Indianapolis. We'll do that in 2 minutes. It is Wilde and Tausch with Bryan Bulaga, our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Discover Proof Pizza at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. In the heart of Milwaukee's Theater District, this modern pizzeria delivers Neapolitan-style pies, a bold grill menu, and old-school hospitality in a sleek, art-inspired setting. Whether you're craving a quick lunch or a relaxed evening bite, Proof Pizza is your go-to downtown destination. Dine in, unwind, and savor flavor that hits just right. And here's a tip. If you mention Jen Latta, you'll receive 10% off your order. Learn more at stkatearts.com.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
With Bryan Bulaga in as our cousin sub of the day, and Riley Yaukin as our cousin sub of the day for Jesse, rolls on. All right, Brian, so you had the joint practice in 19 with the Texans, and then you left us for the sunny shores of California, and we had COVID in 2020, so there were no joint practices that year, and then 2021 was your last year in the league, right? Did they do any joint practices in 21, or were we still COVIDing? So it was just you guys with your fellow Chargers?
No, we had a joint practice with the 49ers.
Okay. What is the best thing about doing those, and what is the drawback, if there is any?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing is the actual when things don't erupt, like majority of joint practices do, not all of them, when things don't erupt into chaos, right, and both sides are handling the session as they should, right, as professionals, and both sides are trying to get good work in, and it's a clean practice, no one's doing anything cheap or dirty, because the minute one thing happens, right, like the minute a guy feels like a defender or an offensive guy takes a dirty shot on one of their guys, the rest of the practice is going to spiral, right? So, like, that's just the way it goes. And it could be something that was innocent, right? Like, it was a mistake, and, like, guys are, oh, man, I'm so, like, you know, but it's always going to, it's going to spiral. Like, it always happens. It happened when I was in L.A., that practice with the 49ers, I felt like there was a fight every 10 minutes. Like, it was nonstop, just stopping practice, breaking things up. Like, it was just a constant thing. But the benefit, if practice goes smoothly, is you get realistic looks against opposing defenses that you're just not seeing every day, right? You're getting to go against another team's ones. And the closest thing to live action without tackling and things like that as you're going to get before you go out there week one. Because in all honesty, obviously the Jets played their ones in preseason. But for the most part, teams don't play their ones, right? And the chances both sets of teams are going to play their ones in a preseason game, it's not likely, right? Your teams are more inclined to have all their starters do the joint practice, right? Like they're more, so you're going to see the full array of players in the joint practice, and you get to go against another team's best in that scenario, which is good for everyone, right? You get to test yourself against another team's best and go watch the tape and see how you're progressing as an offense and defense, et cetera. So that's the upside to it. The downside to it, like I said, are the fights and the stupid things like that. And where guys, I think, sometimes look at them as a negative because they, depending on how long the practices go and how many, periods there are within the practice, you're looking at, move the ball period, whatever it may be, and how many plays you get throughout that session. Say you run 45, 50 plays and the ones end up taking 35 to 40 plays, man, it's almost half a game or a little more than half a game, right? And
right.
Guys feel like, man, we just played almost a game out there. Like that's where guys sometimes feel like the drawback is because it is more physical than a normal practice because you are going against another team's, ones. Like it's not against your own team, and people will think, well, it should be physical when you go Packers versus Packers. Yeah, sure, it's physical, but it's not to that level. It's not the same. That's why guys think it feels like another game you're playing in a practice because another team's coming in there, you're going to another team's place, and it's like it's game on, man. Like that's what this is, and that would be what I think guys think is the drawback from it. But if guys act as professionals, right, and you're able to get good work in, and there's no, guys being knuckleheads and starting fights, and the practice goes clean, then there's a lot of benefit to it, in my opinion.
So I remember that Texans one, I can't remember who it was that got cheap shotted by a safety for the Texans. I was trying to look while you were talking in my archives, and I can't find it right away. But you did 2 days, and the first day was fine, and then the second day, as you put it, spiraled big time. And I believe they even stopped practice early because it was getting so ugly. So the trend now is 1 day, then a day off, then you play that team in the preseason game. And it seemed, from all reports yesterday, that there were no issues in terms of behavior, right? I mean, I think the Bengals, was it 2 years ago? The 23 preseason, the Packers went to Cincinnati, and Elton got kicked out because he got into a fight. I think there was one where, was it Myles Garrett or Aaron Donald? Somebody was had somebody's helmet and was swinging it around. Yeah, we don't want that. But So they avoided those types of issues yesterday, but we talked earlier about the Packers offense. I'm not losing belief in Malik Willis, but he had Matthew Golden and a group of guys that we don't anticipate being on the 53-man roster at wide receiver. The defense had its way with the Colts offense. They had, I think, 3 interceptions. They forced fumbles. It sounded like they had a very good day. My question again for you, Brian, is, last year they had the Baltimore Ravens come in. Baltimore Ravens, pretty good offense. MVP quarterback. Colts, Anthony Richardson, when those tiers of quarterbacks came out on The Athletic earlier this week, I mean, again, he's the guy that came out of the game because he was tired, which did not go over well last year. So how much stock would you put into a dominant performance by the Packers defensive starters against the Colts group?
I think you have to, you got to give them some credit, right? I think, I don't think I read into it too much. If you're looking at it from a, from a pass game standpoint, how dominant they were, I guess I don't give too much stock into that because obviously Anthony Richardson is not the elite passer at this point in his career that, we would just say like Lamar Jackson is, right? Like they're not that type of offense, so to speak. But how they were able to, I guess, rush the passer is a really good sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's something you could look at. And obviously how they stacked up against the run. It sounds like from all phases of defense, they were really good, right? So, and that's kind of the way the Colts operate is they run the ball well. They have a fairly decent offensive line from I don't know all their starters, but they have a pretty good interior line. They run the ball. So if they were able to do a good job, stopping the run in that practice, which we all saw, was probably a point of emphasis after the Jets game, would be my guess after kind of what we saw in those first couple series against the Jets, and the Jets kind of had their way running the ball. And if you look at Anthony Richardson and what he's probably able to, I don't watch a bunch of Colts, so I can't really comment on the style of offense. I did play for Shane Steichen my first year in LA, so I know Shane. Great guy, by the way. Phenomenal guy. Obviously Matt coordinating a practice with him. I'm not shocked no fights happen because Shane is a really good guy. I think a really good football coach. So that doesn't surprise me that nothing broke out there because Shane's good. But I would imagine that the way Richardson does things is probably very similar to the way the Jets do things, right? They probably try to get him outside the perimeter and break contain so he can have that run pass option. And that's what kind of stung Green Bay last week, right? And the Colts have a good running back. So you have those threats that you can get beat a couple ways. And obviously it sounds like Green Bay's defense, figured some things out from the Jets to going to Indy and playing the Colts, which I think is good, right? That's what you needed to see from those first couple series against the Jets to what they did against Colts. So there's some positives. Now, to say they picked them off 3 times, okay, all right, that's good. You should, right? I think if you're pressuring Richardson that much and he's throwing balls in the air, you should be able to snag a couple of those and bring them down, right? And that's good. But again, if our D-line's doing their job, you should be able to do that to a lot of quarterbacks. If you're harassing quarterbacks and they're having to just force balls down the field and it's jump balls, you feel good about our defense bringing down a couple of those. So, that is a good sign in itself. But I look at it more from what they did in the run game because I think the Colts have a good run offense. And they obviously did a good job with that. And that's something I think they could take home, back to Green Bay with them.
Packers and Colts play tomorrow at noon. Is it just me or is that a weird time for a preseason game?
Well, you know why it's weird? The NFL is going to try to compete with the opening day of the Premier League. And they're probably not going to do well in the States with that. They're just not.
Certainly not with games that don't count.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying. It's games that don't count, and then the opening day of the EPL. It's just I don't understand the noon kickoff times. I don't get that, right? Start them at 3:00 or
that's what they do next week with the Seahawks game. So who does your club? What is it? Tottenham Hotspur? That's your team, right?
No,
just
kidding.
Just kidding.
No.
You're a Manchester City guy, right?
Yes.
So who does Man City start with tomorrow?
The Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves.
I think I learned about them watching Ted Lasso season either 2 or 3. All right, well, good luck to them. They've got that guy that kind of looks like Clay Matthews, right? Their big stud scoring machine.
Oh, Man City, Holland?
Yeah. Doesn't he look a little like Clay Matthews? Am I wrong about that?
Well, they got the hair. They got the hair.
All right. This has been your soccer minute on Bulaga and Tausch. All right, we need to play trivia. It is not about soccer. Riley, did you do these yourself? Did you get the clear go-ahead from the tyrant that is usually in charge of trivia, Jesse Nelson?
Yes, I did. These are all my questions, my category. I picked the Indianapolis Colts since the Packers are playing the Colts. I went with the low-hanging fruit.
Were you wearing your Goodwill Eric Dickerson hat that your uncle or dad
my
or
godfather
grandpa got you? You were not wearing that hat while you were writing this?
No, I should have, though. May have helped with the inspiration. I should have done a trick question. Who is my Colts hat autographed by? That would have been good.
All right, since this is your show, what caller do you want?
Let's go number 18, caller 18 for legendary Colts quarterback Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. All right, caller 18 right now. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 18 to play Riley Yauk's Indianapolis Colts Trivia. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Ben Brust. This Friday, August 15th, join Kyle Brust and Nortman live from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Vault Restaurant in downtown Milwaukee. We'll have drink specials, raffle items, Milwaukee baseball tickets, and of course, a wonderful view of downtown Milwaukee. A portion of the proceeds are also going to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. To support a great cause and to celebrate one of the best venues in Milwaukee, head to the Vault this Friday, August 15th on Kilbourne Ave in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. We'll see you there.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car, it also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play, we help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
There's no better time to head out to Road America than right now, enjoying high-class racing and just about everything you need to enjoy the experience. ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust here, and I chatted with John Everett, Communications Director of Road America, and why he loves the racetrack and what he's seeing about the atmosphere. For those who haven't experienced it, why should they experience bringing their family and creating memories at Road America?
Yeah, I think what's really great about it is, imagine you can't really park your RV down on the field at Lambeau Field. Here you can do that. At Road America, you are that close to the racing surface. You're immersed in the action. We encourage families to show up because we have a lot of family reunions, a lot of events. You know, when you kind of group everything together with a couple campsites, it's very affordable. And 16 and under get in free with a paying adult at the gate. So it's a very incredible deal. Also, it's just great to be able to move around the property with family and friends, to wake up in the morning, see your race cars on the back while you're making breakfast, move over and check your neighbors out at their campsite. So that's what's really incredible at Road America, is that we tell people come for the experience and stay for the race, because it truly is.
Find the schedule and ticket information at roadamerica.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-In and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bella Mare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bella Mare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Of nondescript NFL franchises, the Tausch would say unsexy franchises. The Colts are one of them, right? Like they had that run with Peyton Manning, obviously, Andrew Luck for a period, but in recent years, and I like JT 23. Although does he wear 23 for them, or does he wear 28?
28.
Anyway. They're kind of a nondescript team, aren't they? They're kind of a meh.
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
A little bit. I mean, I think ever since Luck left, right? Like, I think once Andy Luck left, it was kind of, I don't know, like they haven't recovered from it, right? Like, it's just been kind of a franchise that's just kind of, they're okay, right? Like, they don't have like those years that they only win like 4 games, but like they just haven't like recovered fully from him retiring out of the blue. Like, so it's just one of those things that I get it. It's hard when a guy like that just stops playing, right? Like a quarterback especially. But at the same time, like they've been drafting quarterbacks and it just hasn't worked out. I don't know.
The Indianapolis Colts were 8-9 last year, 9-8 the year before that, 4-12, 9-8, 11-5 back in 2020 with Frank Reich as their coach. But yeah, they've been meh. I mean, they've had a couple of seasons in there, but again, let's find out more about them while we play trivia. Let's welcome our contestant. It is Sean in Waukesha. Sean, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Morning, guys. How you doing?
We're great. Bryan Bulaga will do question 2 if it's okay with him. I'm used to my sidekick frequently just not participating in trivia. Question number 1, Sean, is this. Where did legendary Colts tight end Dallas Clark play his college football? Did he play at Iowa State, Iowa, or Bishop Sycamore?
I'm going to go with A.
Iowa State.
Iowa.
Like one Bryan Bulaga, he is a proud Iowa alumnus.
Iowa.
Did you guys play together, Bryan?
No.
He's a lot older.
We were pretty far apart. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a little bit older than I am.
Just a little. All right. Question 2, Bryan.
All right. Question 2. The Colts defeated the Dallas Cowboys 16-13 in Super Bowl V. Which was the first Super Bowl that was played on artificial turf, was played at night, or went into overtime?
Huh. Let's go with went into overtime.
Sean, we're off to a tough start.
Not doing so good.
That's a tough question, though. Right. Honestly, like that's a tough question.
I didn't know this. I learned something new. That was the first Super Bowl played on artificial turf, unless Riley pulled a Jesse and has incorrect information in his question, which has been known to happen with Jesse once or twice. I didn't know that. So there you go. That's one to grow on. All right, Sean, rare opportunity here. Very rarely in show history have we gotten the first two wrong and then gotten the third one right. So let's make a little bit of history here. Question 3. How many former Wisconsin Badgers are currently on the Colts roster? Is it 1, 3, or 5?
Oh, boy. I thought there was at least one. I'm going to go with 3 because the Badgers are so good.
Jonathan Taylor, Tanner Bordellini, and Hunter Wohler. 3 is correct.
All right.
All right,
Go
Sean,
Badgers.
way to finish with a strong finishing kick, my friend. You got one right. That means you got 2 entries. Riley, are you cleared to also do the drawing today?
Oh, yes. Yes, I shall.
All right.
You got a shot, Sean.
All right, Sean, you got 2 entries into the Cheese Fry Helmet of Victory. Good luck, buddy. Thanks for your loyalty to the show.
Yes, sir. Go Packers.
All right, that is Wilde and Tausch trivia. Speaking of Go Packers, the green and gold game preview, during which we will hear far more. And I've been getting a few requests, by the way, both on the private talk and text line and in the YouTube comments. People want an update on Riley's dating situation. We will save that for Will Riley. What is I'm sorry?
Just said, doesn't everybody?
Could be a short update. I don't know what's going on over there. But we'll get to that in Woe Riley. We will hear more from Riley, though, for our green and gold game preview, which is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Bryan Bulaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
These days, it feels like there's advice for everything. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, screen detoxes. But how do you know what actually works for you? Using trusted resources and talking to live therapists can help you break through the noise. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off the first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
If you're shopping for a newer, nicer used vehicle before summer is over,
listen up.
Ewald's 72-hour back-to-school used car sell-off is
This Thursday through Saturday only.
All makes and models, all price ranges. Payments starting at just $199. Hundreds of certified and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs from your favorite brands. Make no payments for 90 days during Ewald's
72-hour back-to-school used car sell-off.
This Thursday through Saturday only at every Ewald location.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
On select models with approved credit.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, quick question before we get to the green and gold game previews. So our friend Joe Thomas, man, we got a lot of great offensive linemen in our stable. He sent me this hat along with some of his beef, which I got to say, Paul and the girls are headed to Auntie Vicky's place in Chicago for the weekend. So I'm on my own without the vegetarians. So I'm going to grill some of the Joe Thomas Hall of Fame beef for it's what's for dinner for me while they're gone. But I'm Riley, you're a young chap. I think I've seen 47 brand has these hats. They call them the dad hats because they've got kind of the, you curve the brim like old people like me do. This is a flat brim, and I feel very awkward.
No, I think the hat looks good. I mean, that's what's in style right now.
Yeah,
I think that's more. That's
stylish.
Definitely more of a. Does it have the mesh back? I think that'd be a trucker hat, technically. Outside, yep, it's a trucker hat. So, if you like what's trendy, that's the hat to wear.
It's not only that, but all right. So, Brian, you're not nearly as old as me. But I also remember, and there's like this new, it's fashion is cyclical, clearly. Because, and I'm going to hold this up to the camera for those watching on video who are still waiting for the jiu-jitsu videos and a commercial break. But it's got this like braided like rope across the front too. I'm noticing that has also made a big comeback. Brian, I'm guessing your dad had a bunch of hats like that.
Like with the rope on it?
Yeah, like old school. Like I'm probably closer in age to him than I am to you, sadly.
Yeah, he had some old sports hats with that type of style, like that.
White Sox hats like that? What was your baseball team growing up in Chicagoland? White Sox?
Yeah, we were White Sox fans.
How's that going for you these days?
I mean, they stink. But they did get a World Series in 2005. So that's supposed to keep us happy for another 50 years or something like that.
Well,
so that's the math on that, I think.
Only 30 to go. All right, time now for our green and gold game preview.
Let's take a closer look at this week's matchup. This is the green and gold game preview.
All right, fellas, it's time for our big 3 questions for the Packers heading into their second preseason matchup with the Indianapolis Colts, starting with what is the most important storyline leading into the second preseason game, or should I say the most compelling storyline leading into this game?
Brian, you get to go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I think, obviously, what I'm interested in is who's going to be playing in this game, right? I think Matt LaFleur, Coach LaFleur, has made it clear that, starters won't be playing. We don't know that for sure until they go out there. But if they don't, with the injuries that we've already had, who's going to be playing where and how's the team going to be set up? Because that's what I'm interested to see. We all obviously know Malik Willis is going to be starting, obviously. But what does the team look like around him? What does the offense look like? And obviously defensively, who lines up on defense where and who's starting? And to me, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing is what guys are available to play a full game.
Let me ask you a question before I answer then, because I do think there's going to be a mishmash of guys. And I didn't see, I have not done my requisite reading this morning. We had a few things going on. I didn't see if she did any 11-on-11 yesterday against the Colts. My instinct is probably not. But if you're the Packers, are you playing Jordan Morgan? You don't have to play Zach Tom. You don't have to play Elton. But are you playing Jordan Morgan if you're deciding that, Brian?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play him for a couple series to see if that trend continues, right? And now he's got to go do it on the road, right? So now he did it at home. Now he goes in and see how he does on the road. And I know he may not play the starters, but it's just to see if the trend of how he's been playing continues, right? That's the whole point of a competition, is to see if the consistency continues to be there. So I would give him a couple series just to see if he continues to put on the same type of performances.
So I have an unpopular opinion that I have voiced many, many times over the years. I love the preseason. I love preseason games. I do. I know that is not a commonplace feeling. But, and look, it's not for guys like you, Brian. It's not. It's not for first-round picks. It's not for decade-long starters in the NFL. For those guys, I would never play them. I've made that very clear. I am not risking. I am Ted Thompson 2.0. I'm bubble wrapping my guys. And I love the joint practices for them because they're so much less likely. They're not being tackled to the ground. Yeah, you guys are mixing it up in the trenches, but it's way more of a controlled environment for me to get my reps for my guys that I see as irreplaceable. I know it's next man up, but they're the guys that I don't want to have to replace at any point this season. So those guys, joint practices, and then, hey guys, enjoy wearing the latest sideline lounge wear on game day. I do not want you out there. But I love the preseason for the guys that are trying to keep their NFL dream alive. The guys that are the underdogs. You played with a guy who is, again, one of my favorites that I covered, Lucas Patrick. Lucas Patrick built one hell of an NFL career. And he's a guy that in 2016 was in as a tryout guy. Not only was he undrafted, he didn't even get signed after the draft. And then he has a good rookie camp as a tryout guy, earns that contract, ends up on the practice squad, and then ends up becoming a guy that started a ton of games in Green Bay, and then in Chicago, and I think in New Orleans last year. Those are the guys that make me love the preseason. And so I don't know who those guys are going to be tomorrow at noon. One of the guys that I really like, who I talked to at midweek, because he's made some plays, is Cornelius Johnson. Now, you as an Iowa guy and me as a Wisconsin guy are enjoying the fact that Michigan is getting hammered by the NCAA, which I didn't even know had power anymore. But
I know.
He's a Michigan guy. And in spite of that, I kind of like him. Smart guy, interesting to talk to, and has done some good things. But we're talking about him. We're talking about Julian Hicks, if you're familiar with his work. He was on the practice squad last year. Isaiah Nayor, who they picked up. Will Shepard, who they got right before camp started. These are guys, they picked up a guy yesterday, Kawan Baker, off of waivers from the Raiders. Like, it's going to be, who's that guy? Who's that? Like, if you're just a regular old Packers fan watching the offense, there's going to be a lot of guys you don't know who they are because it's not your job to know who they are. And they're probably not going to be on the roster when the season gets here. But maybe one does. Maybe one has a moment, right, and earns a spot and makes them give him more opportunities. And whether that's Cornelius Johnson or somebody else, that is the most important storyline to me because Brian's right. Let's not do anything stupid here and get anybody hurt before September 7th. Riley, what's next?
All right, on to question 2. You guys have already talked about a few players, but who is the most important player that you'll be watching most intently on Saturday afternoon?
I mean, yeah, we kind of hit on it. There's 2, right? Like, I mean, I think if Golden plays, obviously that's important to see how he does. Mm-hmm. I don't think he'll play, but if he does play, him, and then obviously if Jordan Morgan is playing, I'll be watching that very closely too. Because if you look at the rest of the team, I mean, like, yeah, everyone. I hate to diminish anyone. Everyone's important that goes out there and plays and is fighting for their NFL lives. I get that, but like, the left tackle is the remaining position battle left on this team. Like, that is it. Like, everything else you could say is essentially settled. On the roster, I get injuries are a thing right now, but I mean, you look at it, everything's essentially settled. The left tackle job is not. So, like, if one of those guys that is competing for that job goes out there and plays, obviously everyone should be paying attention to that because he's giving you a little showcase of what he's all about. And, like, that's a big story. So, like, to me, those 2 guys are what I'll be paying attention to.
So you got those 2. I'm going to have to take someone else. And again, I don't know because he's a starter. But another Iowa guy, I want to see more of Lucas Van Ness. It's kind of like the defensive version of Jordan Morgan, like trust but verify. Like, he's having a good camp. I would like to see him verify that with some more production in a game. And I know I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth now because this is a guy who was affected by a broken thumb all season last year. So do I really want to put him out there and potentially, and again, there's risk in everything, but potentially stunt the growth that we've seen from him by getting him hurt in a game that doesn't count? If you're LaFleur or you're Jeff Hafley, are you playing LVN tomorrow?
To be honest with you, like, I'm going to say yes. Like, there's certain guys that, and I'm not saying he needs to play a bunch, right? Like, but I think he needs to continue to go out there to keep the momentum that he has, right? Like, there's something to say, like, oh, I don't, like, we're worried about getting him hurt. But, like, I get that. But, like, there's something to be said about keeping guys rolling and letting that momentum continue to build for them, right? Like, and let him, staying hot, as they say, like, stay hot.
Right.
Like, that's kind of what this is for him. There's certain guys in the preseason, and, like, I did it as in my 3rd year or 4th year, I was going out there in preseason and playing. There was no question. Brian, you're playing a quarter, you're playing a half. We went out there and did it. With LaFleur, I went out there and played a half against Baltimore, LaFleur's first year. I mean, it was just the way it went. Like, sometimes you just got to go and do it. It doesn't sound like the guys are going to get extensive work, but just to keep things going, I don't see anything wrong with playing a series or 2. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
That's my guy, then, LVN. All right, one more.
Last one from me. Besides avoiding injury, Saturday's preseason game will be considered a success if blank. Fill it in.
Obviously that it doesn't look like last week, right? Like, I mean, that's the start. Like, you can't, you have to show improvement from last week. And I get it's not going to be the starters, so that's going to be hard to tell, but it sounds as if defensively improvements have been made, right? Offensively, we have no idea because we're down 4 wide receivers and a starting quarterback. So obviously, whenever a starting quarterback and that many guys are out, it's hard to tell. But what you want to see is growth, from the entire team, right? Offense, defense, special teams, and that you see progression from last week. And that's what the preseason is about, seeing progression from week to week. So if they win or lose, I mean, obviously it matters to the guys there, but to me, don't care. But I want to see progression. I want to see a little more a little more fight. Like, it didn't seem like there was much juice on that field. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that against Indy. And to me, that's really all I'm looking for, right? Like, obviously no injuries and a little more juice and just progression from what we saw last week.
So I want to, you know what I want to see? I want to see their offensive line effectively protect Malik Willis so he can throw the football with time to throw. Because I want to see what he can do. Because, look, we know what he was able to do last year, and he deserves a ton of credit for that. Ideally, though, if disaster strikes and he has to play again this season, you would like him to be able to do a little more in the passing game. Right? He had that huge throw to Reed in the win in Jacksonville to set up the game-winning field goal. That was huge. That was a big-time, big-boy throw. But I would like to see him have enough time. So that means Jacob Monk's got to play better. It means I'd like to see more of Anthony Belton so you can break him down for us. Like, I want to see those guys, and I want to see them play well. It's a success if that second unit of the offensive line is effective, and then it allows Malik Willis to show what he's capable of in throwing the ball to some of these guys that I just mentioned that a lot of Packers fans aren't familiar with. So that's mine for that. All right, Riley, good job on the green and gold game preview. Our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week. Did Jesse and Tausch remember to send theirs in?
No.
That's so hard to believe. It's preseason for everyone. We will do ours, Brian's, mine, and Riley's, next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we believe in the human side of real estate. For us, it's faith, family, and friends in that order. We live that every single day. I'm Tony Wendorf. We move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so our clients win. We operate from a place of gratitude, having donated nearly $200,000 back to our community since 2020. You deserve a team that delivers a luxury experience no matter the price point. Contact us today to get started. Tony Wendorf & Associates, trusted knowledge, superior service. Contact us at WendorfTeam.firstweber.com.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Preseason football is underway and college football is here, so don't miss any of the action this season on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. PrizePicks is the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Metaphysical man, but I know when the stars are aligned, you can bump into a person in the middle of the road.
We roll on with Bryan Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Time now. I don't know how many times you've gotten to play this little game that we have been playing since the show began nearly a decade ago. Time now for our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week.
Hey there, sleepyhead. Wakey, wakey.
Okay, campers, rise and shine.
It's time for the Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week on Wilde and Tausch.
Indeed, from the people that brought you Mark Tauscher picking Matthew Golden as his Sleeper of the Week last week, it is time for the Steinhoffel's Sleepers of the Week. Brian, again, because you are our cousin sub, you are our guest, we give you the honors, Your Honor.
All right. So, my sleeper is, and I'm fairly certain he's going to play, Marshawn Lloyd is mine. So that's who I'm going to go with. If he gets reps, that would be the guy that I'm going to go with. I'm excited to see him play if he does play.
I hope for that young man that A, he does play, B, he plays well, and C, he comes out of the game as healthy as he went into it. I don't know if I can think of a guy whose career got off to a more unlucky start injury-wise than him. I've never seen anything like it. And so I hope that although Savion Williams is off to a start, which makes me nervous that he's got the bad luck has transformed and changed to him. So hopefully that stops for Savion Williams as well. But that's a great pick. That is an absolutely, and he is one of the guys. In fact, I'm going to do my 3 things to watch for Channel 3000 later today, and he's one of them because I think a lot of people, not just you or me or Riley, I think a lot of people in the building have been looking forward to seeing him play in games because I think they feel like he's got a chance to be a special, kind of unique type of back for them. So great choice by Brian. I'm going to stick with my Michigan guy. It pains me to do it, but Cornelius Johnson at wide receiver. Lots of opportunity in this game for a bunch of wide receivers that are little known. My second choice was going to be Messiah Swinson, the tight end, who bold strategy. I did not ever consider Messiah as one of the names for our children when they came along. Messiah Bulaga kind of rolls right off the tongue. But big dude. He's like 6'6". Like, they've kept him around on the practice squad. I think they have kind of their 4 for the active roster, but he's made some strides. Messiah Swinson, a guy to watch as well if you're sticking around in the 3rd and 4th quarters of the telecast. All right, Riley, who you taking?
I'm going to go with the guy who got an interception yesterday at joint practice, Isaiah Simmons at linebacker. That's really the only thing I'm going off of. I was going to do Keyshawn Nixon, but that seemed self-proclaimed CB1. I don't know how I felt about that as a sleeper. So I'm going Isaiah Simmons, linebacker.
Yeah, Tausch would have been proud of you had you chosen the number 1 corner. And by the way, I don't think he's going to play. I don't think any of those guys are going to be put at risk tomorrow. So good choice by you, because Isaiah Simmons, by the way, Brian, when you watched the film, did you see the play where it's the completion over the middle to the fullback? And Isaiah Simmons, that's what happens. It was bad. Like, it was really, really not good. And look, all players have those moments, and I'm not picking on him because he is an intriguing athlete. But, I mean, he's the first linebacker I've ever seen who was a number 1 flyer/gunner on punt coverage. He's a unicorn in terms of his ability. But when you have a snap like that, what happens in the film room?
Normally, coaches aren't there to try to embarrass you. Normally, that's done already by watching. Everyone's watching, right? So, like, you're embarrassed already, right, by what has happened. So the coaches don't try to pile on. Obviously, they make the correction. They probably ask, "Hey, what were you thinking here? What happened?" And you talk through it. And that's normally the way that works out, right? Like, they're not there to pile on because most of the time guys are their harshest critic most of the time. So like they don't need a coach to tell them this is awful, because the answer would be like, yeah, I know. Like, thank you. Like, I'm well aware of that. Like, so it's just a matter of, like, cleaning up. Like, obviously, he was either not fully on board with the assignment, or his eyes were bad with what he was reading. So it's a matter of, like, cleaning up those things for him so that doesn't happen again. And that's really what that session would be, to clean those things up for him. Because otherwise, like, how else do you correct that? I mean, you know, I don't know how else.
And I'm kind of cut from that cloth myself. Like, I know I already, effed up. I don't want to relive it. I know how bad it was. So it's good to know that. Now, if it's a guy that can take a little bit of ribbing, maybe they give him a little bit of a hard time, an established guy who has one bad snap in an otherwise really good game. But, that was tough for him. It was tough. All right, we need to get to the 11 o'clock hour. But those are our Steinhafels Sleepers of the Week, presented by Steinhafels. And Labor Day isn't even here yet, and yet the Labor Day sale is already on at Steinhafels, and you can shop it early. Save 10% off store-wide, and take advantage of 36-month, 0% interest financing. Either one of those are options to you. And check this out. Get a queen bed for just $489, a dining table for just $599, and big savings on Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets, up to $700 off with 60-month, 0% financing. Steinhafels is Wisconsin's go-to for furniture and mattresses, so shop in-store and online at steinhafels.com. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch kicks off in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Hey, golf enthusiasts! Discover a hidden lakeside course in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin at Majestic Oaks. Tee off on a course with over 2 miles of lakefront where wide fairways and challenging greens await. It's an 18-hole golfing experience like no other. Join them for the best family golf nights in the state where everyone can enjoy the game together. Golf, cart, drinks, and snacks for under $15 a person, and several membership options for you to find the perfect fit for your lifestyle. Ready to play? Book your tee time today at lakelawnresort.com. Majestic Oaks Golf Course, where your best game awaits.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And last week against the Jets, now the Jets committed even more penalties, by the way. I mean, they won 30-10, so I'm not sure anybody was spending a lot of time talking about that. But the Packers were called for a myriad of penalties as well, 3 of them on Jacob Monk alone. So, again, rooting for that young fella to have a better day tomorrow after what he endured. But Matt LaFleur said this week that one of the foci this week was to improve from the penalty perspective as they roll into Game 2. Here's what Matt LaFleur said about his issues with the penalties.
Yeah, what's great is this is the first opportunity to have real NFL officials. So
our guys, there's a lot of areas that we have to improve upon with some of our core fundamentals. Certainly the holdings up front, and they've still taken place in practices since then. So I want to see some of that get cleaned up.
So that was the part when I heard him say that yesterday, Brian, because after the game he was not pleased about the holding penalties, and then he watched the film and he said that maybe a couple of them he didn't agree with. But the bottom line is that those holding penalties, as you know better than anyone, having played the offensive line for more than a decade, that stuff sets you back, man. It's hard to convert 1st and 20 or 2nd and 18, right? And so I'm curious what I don't want to say bothered me, because it doesn't bother me, but it would bother me if I was Matt LaFleur, is that he said there were too many penalties against the Jets. He said they were going to crack down on fundamentals and technique to reduce the issues with those during the course of practice during the week. And then they have Monday, Tuesday's practice, and he's still seeing the same stuff. That's the kind of stuff that drives a coach crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's frustrating. And holding penalties, I guess, you know this. You could technically call a holding penalty every play. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could throw one almost every single play. Mm-hmm. There's just the ones that get called are egregious, right? Like the guy's outside the frame, your feet are beat, and that's kind of what happened in that game. So when we look at holding calls as an offensive lineman, there's certain ways to avoid them. And then when you get them called on you, normally you're putting yourself in really bad positions. And that starts with your first couple moves when the ball snapped, your hand placement, body angles, all those things. So those are things that players have to evaluate themselves as they're going through practice and what they're doing to put themselves in those positions. Because you can grind on the fundamentals in individual periods all you want, right? You can do all those things and the coaches could be screaming at you, hands inside, or replace your hands, or keep moving. They could do all that. That's fine. And those are good habits to try to reinforce. But once the action's going, right, the coaching points are out the window, right? You have to start reacting to what you're used to and what's going to work for you. And it's about body position and how you're reacting to the guy in front of you. And to me, that's up to the guys to watch what they're doing and make corrections on themselves. And if they're not able to do that, right, if they're not able to go back to the film and see what they're doing and then go back out to the practice field to make that correction, that's a little concerning from the player standpoint, right? Because guys have to do that. The coaches, they can obviously tell them what they're doing wrong, right? They're clearly doing that. But this is what I always say: the players are the ones on the field. The players have to make the corrections. The coaches can give them the corrections, but the players have to make the corrections and do the action on the field. You can only do so much for guys until it's kind of all right, what more can we do to help this individual out to get his feet in the right place, or that he's taking a good initial set so that he's not out of position if a defensive lineman spins back inside or swims inside. It gets to a point where, it's on the player. And it's up to the guy to make corrections, and so I understand why he's frustrated about it.
So look, you played in the league for a really long time. So did Tausch. Tausch had a ridiculous streak of non-holding penalties, by the way, like crazy long streak of not getting called for holding. My question is, as you went through training camps, right? I mean, you did the off-season program. I remember we've talked before. I'm sure our avid listeners remember you saying this, but you didn't want to be on the Chad Clifton big Lamborghini program. You needed work during the week. During training camp, is there a process, even for veteran guys who've done it for 5, 6, 7, 8 years like you did, to kind of get to a place with their technique so they are in position to minimize the holding penalties? Like, there's only so many padded practices now. There's only so much, full go in 2-minute or whatever else. Does it take a while? Because the Packers will have the NFL officials here again next week on Thursday for their joint practice with the Seahawks. And when the nice elderly fellows and some younger guys that are local officials that do high school and small college games around town are there, you guys, I'm not saying you can bully them, but they're not exactly, Gene Steratore out there, right? Mm-hmm. So is that a process for players to kind of get to where they know that their technique is not going to be flagged and they're not getting, cheating the system a little bit in practice?
Yeah, I mean, it's a process and how you go through it, and obviously from day one to probably where they're at right now, you should start feeling pretty good about where you're at, right? From a technique standpoint, you've been going through camp and all these practices and individual drills and all the, team drills and everything that you've been going through. You've had plenty of reps to start feeling out your technique. And obviously you had game 1 against the Jets, right? I mean, you went out against their ones. You actually played some series against them, and you got tape now against another opponent. So, you should start at this point in camp feeling pretty good about where you're at from a technique standpoint. Yeah, there's going to be some things that after you watch that Jets film, all right, I got to clean this up. I was a little bit, my right knee I was a little soft with my right knee. I can be a little more stronger with that in pass pro. I was drifting too close to the quarterback. Those are all things that after you see that first game tape, you could be like, okay, those are the corrections I need to make. Now I can make those going forward and progress off that. But how you're feeling and kicking rust off, those are the things you do, after that first couple days of pads, right? How right. I always say, the first couple days of pads, it's always the emotions are high and it's always kind of sloppy at times because guys are, playing kind of out of themselves and technique and everything, things aren't clean. But after that, guys should start settling into playing the way they're going to play as the season starts. And when you get to this point, you should be figuring out this is I'm in good shape here. I should know what to hold. Am I holding this guy? Am I not holding this guy? Can I get away with this? Can I not get away with this? It should be pretty clear based on what you've been looking at film. Are you okay? Are you not okay? Right? And the coaches know exactly what it looks like too. So as a player, you need to recognize where you're at from a technique standpoint, and that should have been happening a week ago or 2 weeks ago. You don't have time all the way up to week 1 to be okay, now I got my technique down. Now I feel good. It took me 7 weeks to figure this out. No, it should not take that long to get this figured out, right? It shouldn't take that long. Guys that, have been doing it for a while, they have a process of how they like to feel going through it. To me, it was always, I want to feel my pass set is the first thing, my feet. I want to feel like I'm in space and where I'm at from the defender good. Once I have that, then I can start working on where my hands are and how I'm placing my hands. And then after that, it's okay, well, now I can start working on accepting power. So if I got bull rushed, how I sit down to power and take on a second move. And you kind of take camp from that perspective. And then you can look into the run game and how you fit runs and double teams, and you kind of break it down into those sections because you can't achieve all at once. It's impossible. You'll never get it done. So you break it down into sections. But that should be done by now, right? You should start to this is when you're starting to groove everything. Things are starting to feel fluid going into the season. It shouldn't be okay, I got to start figuring this out. Week 1's approaching and I still don't feel comfortable yet. That shouldn't be the case right now.
All right, so you used a word there that I was about to use to tease the next conversation I want to have, and that is about Brandon McManus. Because you talk about being in a groove. He has been in a groove all summer. Now, he has missed a few kicks lately. I think he's up to like 3 or 4 misses all summer. But you played with one of the all-time greats in Packers history in Mason Crosby. And I want to talk a little bit of kicking with you before we get to Will Riley, when we'll get updates on his jiu-jitsu exploits and his dating exploits and maybe some other things as well. So that's coming up. Want to remind you, AmFam has been with Wilde and Tausch from the very beginning. And if you're looking for the Brewers fan experience of a lifetime, American Family Insurance is here to make it happen. Enter the Superfan Tailgate Sweepstakes for your chance to win a pregame tailgate party for you and 5 friends, complete with a private chef and a DJ. You'll also score field-level tickets, hotel stays, exclusive Brewers merch, and Christian Yelich memorabilia. Enter now at amfam.com/brewers. That's amfam.com/brewers. No purchase necessary. Enter by 11:59 p.m. Central Time on August 25th, 2025. See official rules at amfam.com/brewers. More with Bryan Bulaga, our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs. We believe in better. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Ben Brust. This Friday, August 15th, join Kyle Brust and Ortman live from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Vault Restaurant in downtown Milwaukee. We'll have drink specials, raffle items, Milwaukee baseball tickets, and of course, a wonderful view of downtown Milwaukee. A portion of the proceeds are also going to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. To support a great cause and to celebrate one of the best venues in Milwaukee, head to the Vault this Friday, August 15th on Kilbourne Ave in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. We'll see you there.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
The Green Bay Packers Thursday joint practice with the Indianapolis Colts is in the books, and head coach Matt LaFleur shed some light on how the plan for the practice came together with Colts head coach Shane Steichen.
It's pretty easy to pick up the phone and make a couple calls, and we adjusted some things on the practice schedule, and yeah, he's great to work with.
It's Colts and Packers preseason game number 2 from Lucas Oil Stadium on Saturday at noon. I'm Alex Strofe.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Need a mortgage? Don't look far. In your backyard is where we are. Visit a Tri-City near you. Get a great rate from your hometown crew. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 4333891.
It's racing season, and that means Road America in Elkhart Lake is the best place to be. It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust here, and I got the chance to chat with Road America's communications director, John Everett, about what makes Road America special for drivers and fans. Tell us why you think, if you haven't been, why you need to go, what's happened, and what is the future here.
Here's the deal. We're called America's National Park and Speed for a reason, because you're not dedicated to a seat. Once you come in, you can move around the facility, and there's tons of improvements to check out, including our new walkover bridge and golf cart bridge along the front straight. The mission tradition, Too Fast, Too Tasty Beach was massively popular during our IMSA event. It's always fun to sort of sit under a palm tree, put your feet in the sand, and watch some world-class racing. There's still lots of great racing coming up. You've got the GT World Challenge that's going to be August 15th through the 17th. During the VSCD8 event, September 12th through the 14th, we're going to have a fireworks show on Friday night. It's included with your event admission, so definitely check out roadamerica.com for that because we're going to be celebrating our 70th anniversary during that event.
Be a part of race day at Road America. Visit roadamerica.com to get tickets.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Don't ever see you sober if I'm breathing, racing to the moonlight.
So the Green Bay Packers are in Arlington, Texas. The place where they won Super Bowl 45 with a young Bryan Bulaga at right tackle, the youngest player to ever start a Super Bowl. Is that still intact? Has anyone beaten you on that yet?
To my knowledge, it's still intact, but again, I don't know. It's not like I do the Dolphins, the champagne toast every time the Super Bowl ends and no one breaks it. I don't keep track of it that much. Let's put it that way.
God, I'll tell you what, between that and your Surfside reads, you have really become a full-fledged radio guy. That was great. So it's 2016. You're in the NFC divisional playoff round. The memorable Rodgers to Jared Cook completion on the sideline. I don't remember if Jared Cook, he started the year with the chicken head in his wings at a local restaurant, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, at B-Dubs, yeah.
And then he rallied and overcame that and ended up being a vital piece. Still one of the biggest mistakes. The Packers then went on a several-year search for answers at tight end. His agent screwed it up. The Packers screwed it up. He should have never gotten out the door. But he makes that catch, and now everyone remembers the throw and the catch, and Rodgers kind of in the background, kind of like giving it body language, English. He makes the catch, but there's still a 51-yard field goal to be kicked to win that game. And by the way, twice has to be kicked, because Jason Garrett gets the timeout as the ball is being snapped. And Mason Crosby drills it not once but twice. Now, the one that actually counted, I don't know what your recollection is, but mine is that it started outside the posts, and I thought maybe, but you had that guy. So take me back to that moment, and then take that into what they now have, it appears, in Brandon McManus, who got here, and the first two games he kicked walk-off game winners. And after the roller coaster that is having rookie kickers, he solved that issue. What do you remember from that game first?
Yeah, I mean, that was a wild game. I mean, obviously, you kind of went through it. But before that, right before that drive, Mason kicked another field goal, I believe, to put us, to tie us or put us ahead. It was something like that, I believe. Mason had kicked a field goal prior to that drive, if I'm not mistaken.
So he had checked you on that.
Yeah, I think he had hit back-to-back field goals in consecutive drives, essentially, to put us, I think, like tied or in the lead, and then the Dallas kicked a field goal to put them back in the lead. Something like that, I believe it was.
Look, I say this with all due respect for Mark Tauscher, because I love the guy. I just think the world of him. But he, again, and we don't make jokes around here about CTE. That is a serious thing that all you guys have varying degrees of worries about. But, he makes fun of his own memory lapses from time to time, and it's one of the reasons why the dynamic of this show is stream of consciousness, Tausch, because he's legitimately worried that he has something really good, and if he doesn't say it right away, he's going to forget it. Okay? Yeah. This is ridiculous. So, Des Bryant, with 4:08 left in the fourth quarter, catches a 7-yard touchdown pass. Dak Prescott gets the 2-point conversion, and we're all tied up at 28-28. Mason Crosby, with 1:33 to go, kicks a 56-yarder to give you guys the lead at 31-28, and then with 35 seconds to go, Dan Bailey for the Cowboys trots out and makes a 52-yarder to tie the game again at 31. And then you guys have 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Like that game should be going to overtime. And Rodgers hits the throw to Cook. And then Mason, 51 yards times 2, because he makes it twice, wins the game.
Yep.
So you, sir, are like an elephant. I'm so impressed with your memory. Now you may continue.
Yeah, it. When we went out there for it, there was, after, because he had obviously nailed the 56-yarder right before that. So, we knew if we got him into a certain range, there was no question, right? So it was 51 yards. Well, everyone had a pretty good idea that Garrett was going to bang the timeout and, make him do it twice. Everyone had a pretty good idea of that. But Mason was always smart. He always got the kickoff on the timeout. He always did it. He always made sure that the ball got snapped and he would hit it just to do it, to see, just to do it, to see how he felt and to see how he kicked it. And Mason always did it. He never allowed the snapper to just hold it. It always got fired and he always kicked it. So when he hit the first one, I looked up, I was like, all right, well, pretty good. He nailed that one, and this will be the exact same thing. The ball gets snapped and it gets launched, and I remember seeing it, and it started outside the post, and because I was on the right side, it started outside the post on the left side, and then it just probably 30 yards in, it just started to work its way back in, and I turned around because I knew it was going in, and it was essentially celebrate at that point because it had the leg. You could tell it had the leg on it. It was just a matter of was it going to find its way in, and after it started to move back inside the post, it was going to stay there. He liked to hit a little cut. He was a cut hitter with his for us golfers out there. He liked to hit a little cut with his kicks. So I knew it was going to go in, but he'd been really good that year too. But for a team, offense and defense, when you have guys like they have now with McManus, when you have a kicker that you can trot out there and he can hit field goals from 50 plus and he's very accurate, it takes a lot of stress off the group, offensively and defensively, right? Defensively, they know that, okay, if we make a stop and say it is late in the game like that and the other team, they're trying to go. If we make a stop deep in our own territory and our offense only needs to get to a certain yard line because we know our kicker can nail a deep field goal, that it makes everyone a little bit more confident. They play a little bit looser, and it makes life so much easier for the play callers, right? Offensively and defensively, and for offensive coaches, knowing you only need to get to a point where a kicker, McManus has a boot, really 55 yards. Hey, we got to get this guy to a point. He could probably make it from farther, but comfortably, we got to get to a point where he can kick a 55-yarder and we're good. That's not that far down the field. If you're in a pinch of a drive, right? That's not that far. And it's a good feeling to have, man. It really is, to have those guys in our team. And that pickup last year of McManus, fantastic. And I get there was some controversy with it, right? There was controversy with it. I understand that. But from a football perspective, you said it, having 2 rookie kickers, and we saw how that went. You go from Crosby to the rookie kickers, and we don't know if they're going to go in ever, then to McManus, who makes almost everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a good feeling as players to have that type of kicker.
Yes, he had a 70-yarder yesterday, not in a live session, but hit the crossbar and went over. All right, we need to get to Will Riley. We've got some updates that we need from our young teammate. We've done a couple of shows now at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, and if you listen to the show regularly, you know that gambling is not my thing. But that doesn't mean that Hard Rock Casino Rockford isn't my thing. We had a great time there, and it has a lot of the things that I love. First of all, I'm always hungry, and guests can enjoy a diverse dining options at the Hard Rock Casino with the Hard Rock Cafe, the Council Oak Steaks and Seafood, the Bricked Italian Kitchen, the UU Noodle Bar, street tacos, and Constant Grind Coffee Shop. And I love music. The Hard Rock Casino Rockford showcases a museum-worthy collection of more than 500 pieces of authentic music memorabilia, including items from artists like Prince, Cheap Trick, Eddie Vedder, the Blues Brothers, and Taylor Swift. And the Hard Rock live entertainment venue is a 23,000-square-foot premium concert and event space, features more than 1,000 feet of LED screens to enhance the experience for up to 2,000 guests. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. Whoa! Riley is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PATH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, one of the top-ranked real estate teams in Wisconsin, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com. Preseason football is underway and college football is here, so don't miss any of the action this season on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 players' stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. PrizePicks is the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The moment Brian and I have been waiting for, and Riley, it'll be the ESPN Madison YouTube that will get the jiu-jitsu highlights during the break and of Digi only. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
All
and
right.
actually, I think the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube stream might get it as well.
Okay, so tune in. Jesse always tells us it's only on one. So again, I don't know how that works.
I'm not
That's
sure
above my
exactly
pay grade
either, so we'll see.
I think it's also sufficient to say that a lot of times Jesse doesn't know either. He just won't admit it. Time now
Fair.
for both dating and jiu-jitsu updates. Maybe both. Maybe you can combine them. There are lots of attractive jiu-jitsu female fans that'll be there for rooting for you in the next one. It is time for Will Riley.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, well, everyone will see the jiu-jitsu video after this segment. Update, I got second place, so that was awesome. Felt great about that. When it comes to
You basically, how many matches did you win?
I won 1, but that's neither here nor there.
Just want to make sure that we're fully disclosing the information.
Yeah, technically 2, but really 1.
You beat up one guy.
Exactly,
Okay.
which was
All right.
sufficient for me, worth the experience. Really good experience. But anyways, I guess everyone's really curious about my dating life. Sorry to disappoint, but there's really not anything going on. I deleted the dating apps because I was getting sick of them. But yeah, so it's getting busy at work too. So I'm going to start focusing more on myself and, some interior growth instead of seeking a relationship at present.
This is the most anticlimactic.
You guys hyped it up. This was not me bringing up, my dating life. This was Jerry Odd and Levi. I blame them.
All right. So it's been a rough week for this segment of the show, by the way.
That's what I've heard.
Jesse was terrible all week long, frankly. The only time Whoa Nelly was good was when Strofe and Will Summers joined us from a George Webb in advance of victory number 12 to win the burgers. Otherwise, so just if I may, I think you need to understand our perspective here. Brian,
Yes.
Bryan and Abby have been married a long time. Paula and I have been married a long time. We are both very lucky to have outkicked our coverage. We both have 2 great kids. We are very happy with our lives. And Bryan, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm kind of going to do so anyway. Once you've reached a certain point in your life, you're not going to cheat on your wife, but you do live a little vicariously through the young guys who are out there, in the mix, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to hear that I've deleted all the dating apps. I'm not doing anything now. I'm
working on myself.
All right.
So what does that mean? So what does that mean? Like working on yourself. Like what does that mean?
It's a good question. Mostly
he doesn't know because he just made that up.
Spending time at work and not going on dates. That's essentially what that means. But I will give you this. A friend of mine last week told me that her original date to a wedding bailed on her and invited me to come with her instead. So I will most likely be going to a wedding as a date in 2 weeks' time. I believe it's August 30th. First weekend of college football season, which it's going to be tough to miss that, but want to be there for my friends. So there's that. There's something for you. There's a little nugget.
Wait. She's already put you in the friend zone?
Yeah,
it's already friend zoned?
Yeah.
Do you believe that
I was second choice. I don't think anything's going to come of this, but I wanted to give you guys something.
We appreciate you throwing us that bone of I'm going with a friend to a wedding.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that you can turn on the charm and maybe there's, are you? I don't know if she's an avid listener to the show, so I don't want to ruin your game.
I doubt it.
Well, it's pretty popular. But are you looking to maybe perhaps create a scenario where you show a different side of you and you maybe get an exit pass from the friend zone?
Not really. I'm not really seeking that out. But
no, you're working on yourself.
Exactly.
All right. I don't want to put extra pressure on you. You need to draw the winners here. We need to get to Feel Good Friday. But it's not. This is not just about you, Riley.
All right. You know what? Fine. Keeping that in mind, I'm gonna
reinstall the apps.
By the next time I fill in on this show, which I don't know when that'll be.
I'll be soon, I'm sure.
I'll go on one date. Book it. I'll go on one date, at least.
Thank you for your service.
Of course.
We appreciate it. All right. Do you have the cheese fry helmet available?
No, I forgot to grab it, so I can do it during Feel Good Friday.
All right. Feel Good Friday to wrap up the week. Coming up next. I don't feel good about Will Riley. There was no information there whatsoever.
And
stick around through the commercial break, though. If you're on YouTube, you will see Riley Yauk in action. Not the forfeit win, but the actual win in his jiu-jitsu. We'll wrap up the show and wrap up the week with Feel Good Friday, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Get ready, Milwaukee. ESPN Wisconsin is coming to Davidson Park. Join us live on Friday, August 22nd for Media Day at Rev and Rumble, presented by the Harley-Davidson Foundation. Jim, Matt, and Molly will be broadcasting from 2 to 5 p.m., followed by the Homer Hour from 5 to 6. Meet some of the amateur boxers before they step into the ring. Grab a photo and check out the park ahead of the big show. Then, don't miss the free Rev and Rumble Boxing Night on Saturday, August 23rd, with top Midwest fighters, food trucks, drinks, family fun, and more, all from 3 to 8 p.m. Details and registration are at RevAndRumble.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and The Pickler is coming to Menominee Falls with 9 indoor courts and unlimited pickleball play. Leagues, clinics, tournaments, all included. The first tier of founder memberships is sold out, but you can still grab a great deal. $99 a month or $1,049 for a year. Only through the grand opening on August 23rd, with free open play, raffle prizes, and welcome gifts for the first 50 people. Go to pickler.com, hit the Menominee Falls page, and we'll see you on the court.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S. And they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
Fire up those grills because the Milwaukee Brewers have won 12 straight for just the third time in franchise history, which means free George Webb burgers for their fans.
And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Would you like fries with that? 12 in a row for the Crew. 12-5, your final. A team for the ages, the 2025 Milwaukee Brewers, and they are not even close to being done yet.
The Red Hot Brewers, now a Major League best 76-44, hit the road for 8 games starting Friday night with the first of 3 against the Cincinnati Reds.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. Looking to simplify your everyday banking? Our checking and savings accounts offer the tools you need, plus the friendly, simply local service you deserve. Enjoy competitive rates, 24/7 online and mobile banking, and real people ready to help right here in your community. Whether your checking balance is at midnight or stopping by one of our branches at noon, Great Midwest Bank has you covered with a variety of new and improved account options designed for your unique needs. Great Midwest Bank, simply local and member FDIC.
Hey, Jen Latta here, and as a client of the We Sell Group, I can tell you firsthand, Rob and Nick make the home buying and selling process easier. Right now, school's out, and that means it's the perfect time to list your home. The market is challenging and inventory is tight, but you don't have to face it alone. Rob and Nick are pros. They take the stress off your plate so you can focus on your family, your summer, and just breathe. Contact Rob and Nick to see what your home might be worth in this market. Connect today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Under the rain and a western wind, felt the way. Try to live up to the say I am. Is it any wonder? Shame comes calling my first name. Is there any question?
Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. We'll do that quickly, and the Feel Good Friday for us. I know Tausch was not a fan of the story because it wasn't football-y enough, but it seems pretty football-y to me. Mark McNamee, the Irish import, Gaelic football player. One thing that Bryan Bulaga has not gotten into yet. He's more of the Premier League than the Gaelic Football League. But hey, he's one of those guys keeping the NFL dream alive, and he's out there. He'll get some opportunities again tomorrow against the Colts. That's our Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. Before we go, we need this week's trivia winner, Jiu-Jitsu Riley.
Yes, I have drawn. You could hear the cheese fry helmet, and our winner is none other than today's contestant, Sean in Waukesha. Congratulations.
Way to get that last one right, so you had a chance to win. You doubled your chances. That's it for us today. Thanks to Bryan Bulaga for being an outstanding Cousins sub of the day. He'll join us again next week when we talk on Wednesday. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
coming September 2nd to ESPN Radio. The Rich Eisen Show.
He is none other than the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, Deion Sanders. Look at you, humble miss.
The Rich Eisen Show.
None other than Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers. How you doing, Jordan? Good to see you.
Good, Rich. How you doing?
Happy to have you back, Steve Sarkisian.
Appreciate you having me on, Rich.
Rich Eisen, coming September 2nd on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's